guy.
JJ Penix,
Zach
Jaden
Wilson.
Daniels, Caleb Williams.
No, not last year.
McCarthy guy.
We said
I'm
him.
telling you, it was JJ McCarthy.
We said him.
It was.
We said him already. Stop trying to get us to say your
Caleb
dude more than
Williams,
once.
Caleb Williams,
that's
Jaden
what we
McDaniels.
forgot. Yeah, we forgot Caleb
shit.
Williams. That's
How y'all forget Caleb Williams?
Cause like he be
Caleb Williams.
crying.
That was the first pick.
He be crying and holding on to his teddy bear after a loss.
What is the definition of crying?
So
like tears coming out your eyes.
LeBron when he flopped.
You said, what's the definition of crying?
That's what he said in his little article. He said that he used to, after the games last year, he used to go home and cry.
You used to bring him to tears, bro. It's like, dog, my team is trash, and they blaming me.
No, you the quarterback of the future. Remember
dog, my coach is Matt Eberflus.
Hey, was it all right, so help me understand, Cups. Was it the head coach, the punter, or the offensive coordinator that said that they weren't going to punt last year?
It was the quarterback, okay? The quarterback said they weren't going to be doing a lot of punting because,
that
again,
why
the
he cried?
quarterback...
He couldn't keep his word?
Hey,
I mean, look, bro, sometimes you have to look yourself in the mirror, bro. You have to be able to look yourself in the mirror and hold yourself accountable. I said that my punter was going to have an easy year when, in fact, my punter had the busiest season of a punter in a while. So it's like...
You could look at yourself and hold yourself accountable without crying.
Sometimes, bro, when you play for the Chicago Bears, accountability is just like, you know what I'm saying? It's a different weight. You know what I'm saying? It just weighs different.
I almost cried when Jay Uso won the other night.
Does he have the most pressure as in next year, second year quarterbacks seasons?
Well, I guess so. Like he was the number one.
I want to say, why wouldn't he?
Yeah, he's the number one overall. Why not?
You know what I'm saying? Does Bo Nix have the
and everybody else has shown flashes? And I'm not going to say that Caleb Williams hasn't shown flashes, but everybody else is basically like, everybody's like, okay, well, I can see this guy playing for the future, except for JJ McCarthy. But it's like,
what about Jaden Daniels? Does he have the same type of same as we would say for Caleb Williams as far as pressure?
No, I think he has house money right now because we're in the same division with Philly. And, you know, I think that we know what Philly is. So, you know what I mean? Nobody expected us to
know what Philly is.
Philly are the champs.
You
know what I'm saying? And nobody expected us to get to
That's right. He exceeded expectations. If they have an off year this year, it'll be somebody else's fault. It won't be his just based on what he did not do.
What's going to happen is next year Lethal going to be on some bullshit because if Washington wins anything less than 11 games, he's going to be like, did Jaden Daniels fall off? Like, does he?
No, bro, because I'm an LSU man, so you know it's never going to.
Oh, so it only applies to dudes that didn't go to LSU.
Hey, look, if Jada has a bad game,
I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna be Dan Quinn, bro.
I've been hearing all this.
I'm telling you now.
Speaking of
scapegoat alert, Dan Quinn. So
hey,
just 2-5, just watch out for all the triggers,
I've
bro.
been hearing all this AJ Brown to New England stuff.
That's definitely not happening.
I'm just saying 2-5. Before we get into that, I'm just saying, just watch for the triggers because he's gonna try and put it all on Dan Quinn, no matter how good or bad Jaden Daniels plays. If the season ain't what it's supposed to be, bro, he gonna put it all on Quinn.
Before we get to any of that, can we start a petition that if you lose a playoff game by 50 points, the series is over?
No.
Like there ain't no game 2, no game 3, no game 4.
Can we start a petition to end the play-in tournament?
You get
is it overhyped? Is it overhyped?
You get one more game, and if you lose that game by 30, then it's over.
Yeah, you know, like you know, don't pass go, don't collect.
Yeah, you get a mercy warning.
That's nuts.
You get a mercy warning out that jump. Because look, I feel like a mercy rule for a single game.
Who's what?
Why are we talking about Zach Edey?
Zach Edey is the reigning college basketball player of the year before Cooper Flagg won it.
He currently plays for the Memphis Grizzlies.
Why do you know that?
Huh?
What he been doing?
Because I watch college basketball. Plus, it's my job to know it.
Niggas be like, yo, how hot is mercury? And they give you the exact degrees. Like, nigga, why do you know that?
We're supposed to. You're supposed to be an insider, bro.
You are the statistician.
Oh, no, I did some calculations, and I have verified there is no edge of the earth that you can fall off.
Well, that's a fact. If you're a flat earther, you're retarded.
Like Wiz Khalifa.
If you've ever been in an airplane and you still believe the earth is flat, good luck.
I mean, the people that go into space and come back down.
Yeah, bro.
I mean,
what those people be doing in space, Lethal?
They don't show us the world,
bro.
What do you mean?
They don't.
Do you know how big the Earth is?
They don't show us. They don't show us the Earth.
You watch too many movies, man. You think them niggas
What?
turn around?
So are you saying right now? So Lethal, are you telling me right now that Katy Perry? Are you telling me that Katy Perry is a filthy liar? Are you telling me that Gayle King is a filthy liar?
They didn't break the barrier though.
I ain't gonna lie to you.
When
they
had to open,
but you know damn well them names.
When they had to open the whole joint, when they had to open the pod, bro, and they act like it only had to be open from outside, but they had it already open. Let you know right there that this shit is some bullshit. They flew them niggas in the sky for a little bit.
Lethal bag.
Yeah, they didn't break the barrier. We know that.
They put a green screen. The Hollywood green screen. Add a little yeah, and then just fed it to the media because we believe that we send six famous, semi-famous females as a crew of astronauts.
Let me ask you a question, Lethal.
That's some bullshit. If Pluto was on that shit, you'd be swearing it up and down.
You've been walking around outside, right? You've been outside the last couple
Pluto
of days.
already been
outside
space.
right now. I'm out.
Okay, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You've been outside the last few days. You know what I'm saying? You did some stuff. How many people have brought up the fact that those people went out of space to you? Since you've been outside just walking around, how many people came up? Did you know that they went to space?
How many people have I talked to that said, "Hey, bro, I'm about to go to NASA to be trained to be an astronaut"?
Hey, my point exactly. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody. Hollywood ain't do nothing. Nobody cares.
I went to NASA this weekend.
Nobody cares, bro.
And I wouldn't believe you. You know what I'm saying?
I did go to NASA this weekend.
I went to Houston.
Back then, growing up, back then, in the way back, you used to say, "I want to be an astronaut when I grow up." Then when niggas went to NASA and seeing how NASA operate, when they realized how bullshit that shit
how
really
they operate,
is,
bro, what they bullshit
What's
about?
bullshit about NASA,
You gotta
my
give
brother?
us the specifics. You can't keep saying these words. You gotta tell us something.
NASA is Hollywood.
Have you been to the Kennedy Space Center?
Hold on.
Have you been to the Kennedy Space Center?
Hold on. Look, Lethal, I'm gonna tell you right now. My cousin works for NASA. It's not bullshit. I promise, it's not.
How many people?
How many people sitting into space, and how many people of the people that got sent to space came back to Earth and told us everything that happened in space? All I'm gonna tell you is she got to turn her phone off and she got to do a bunch of
because
stuff.
it's a space station. It's a space station out there, bitch. Niggas live in space.
You need to tell me you got more confidence in the Colts than you do in NASA?
What they tell us? We're sending this satellite out.
Questions that need answers.
That's what it is. Anthony Richardson throw flat passes and Lethal can't tell the difference.
Hey, look.
Yeah. If Anthony Richardson was in that motherfucker, would you believe it then?
Hell yeah,
dude.
I was still
believe it. He going there with
still not gonna believe that. Wow. You know what makes it realistic? If it was Bob Johnson, a random name like Bob Johnson.
Bob Johnson, the owner of BT?
from the corner.
So you want a random person with no credibility that they could have just picked out of anywhere?
It gotta be people that you just be like you never heard of. Like you be like, oh shit.
Why would you do that? That could
you-
easily be like, where did this person come
realize-
from?
Think about
Hold
this.
on, Lethal, you do realize that you get no notoriety.
You they gonna send you. You think they go? You really believe they gonna send 6
Okay, so
females
Yes.
that never
So
been
you-
astronauts ever in
Think
their
about what you're
fucking
asking right
lives
now. Think about what you're asking right now.
They didn't go to
for
space,
no
bro.
fucking reason.
Think
They
about what
They
you're
didn't
asking.
go to outer space, bro.
The question that you're asking is easily answered. If I went to the hood right now and I said, "Hey, you three, y'all want to go to Six Flags?" You think they're gonna be like, "Nah, bro, I don't." They gonna be like, "Hell yeah, I'll go to Six Flags." They don't give a damn. So if you ask 6 random people, "Do you want to go to space?" You're gonna get the answer that you want. The problem is, who gives a damn? I can't promote
It's the people,
Bob the
it's the people
Builder
that you're asking.
and Cedric from
but you're not.
Block
But you're
3.
not
Like
gonna
nobody
convince-
cares about
you
them.
can't
They do
convince-
care about
but you
Katy
can't
Perry.
convince
They do
those-
care about
you
Gayle
can't
King.
convince those people. You can't convince those people, bro, that got all that fucking money to be like, yeah, bro, send me into fucking space real quick and pray that I
You
come
can
back.
convince them. They wanted to
That's
go.
the point,
They
though, because you
didn't
don't
go
want
to
to,
bro.
space.
No, bro.
They didn't
No.
go to space.
bro.
They went to
Lethal,
stratosphere.
have you ever heard of something called a crisis actor?
I heard of bullshit. That's what I heard.
Yes,
did.
Cup, I've heard of a
All
crisis.
right, man.
That's what I'm saying, though. You can't just get a
As I was
nobody
saying.
out of nowhere. It's like, because then it's like, if it's a nobody, they're like, bro, how much did you pay this person to show up and hold the sign saying I went to space?
It
There it
had
is.
to be. It had to
So,
be.
so as
it
I was
had to be
about to
people
say,
that-
we still
that
going
we
Lakers
know.
at 5 or what?
it's people that we know that we haven't heard from in
Hey,
a
let me
long
tell you
time.
something.
Like when the last time you heard about Katy Perry?
American Idol. She's been the host of it. She's been the host of America's Got Talent as well. And Gayle King just did the R. Kelly interview, and she also just did another big interview with Meg Thee Stallion to break the whole Tory Lane story. Everybody that went on that ship is relevant in some type of way.
4, 5.
You just don't care.
5. One out of 5 people. One out
The
of
man
5.
just gave
Speaking
you
of 5,
the man
1,
just
2,
gave
3,
you a
4,
list.
5. The Lakers still have
He
an
just gave you a
opportunity.
list.
Yeah,
The Lakers still have an
won it.
opportunity to close this out in 5 games,
Stop talking
man.
about the Lakers. Stop. Let's talk about the Dubs. Let's talk about the
Let's
Warriors.
talk about the
No,
Timberwolves. Then
we'll
you don't
get
want to
to
talk
the
about the
Warriors.
Lakers.
Hey, there we go.
Warriors.
Hey, talk about somebody we're talking about, Cubs. Yeah, let's talk about
get to the
Anthony
Warriors.
Edwards.
Let's get to these Lakers.
Let's get to
Why?
let's talk about the
Why not?
Timberwolves. We don't have to talk about the Lakers. We just talk about the Timberwolves.
We talking about all the playoffs.
Let's talk about the Lakers who don't have the size, who don't have the physicality. Let's talk about
Yeah,
the Lakers.
y'all knew
who
that
are
when y'all was saying
outcoached.
Lakers in 5 too.
Hey, first
No,
of
who
all,
was saying Lakers
first
in
of
5?
all,
Because I was always.
I don't like
saying,
2-5
this
talking to me
don't
like that
fucking-
with that ugly ass San Antonio hat on.
Get them right. Get them
all,
right,
all I
Captain
gotta say
Jack.
about that, all I gotta say about that is you moved here first.
Smoker. Smoker. So, yeah, fellas, like we said, man. Wait, isn't there games tonight?
Yes,
a
the
Monday.
Knicks and Pistons just started,
Yeah,
and
nobody.
then we got Denver, LA, the other LA, part 2.
Actually, let me ask you a question. Is the Pistons game, was it good?
Yeah, it was actually
No,
really
it was
good.
entertaining.
Until
Yeah,
I don't
they-
know. Bro. Yeah, I don't want to talk about
until they
it.
gave up a 21-0 run.
Until Tobias Harris pulled a
I need to,
Houdini in
I
the
need to
second
watch
half.
the Pacers. I need to watch the Pacers
Oh,
again.
I ain't gonna lie. If I
Okay,
see
I'm
Detroit,
listening to that.
I'm not even gonna tune into that game because
You should, though.
who?
You should.
I know. No, I get you, but like I said, I'm a fake basketball fan this year. I don't
No,
care.
I feel you. I feel you.
Like, I'm not here. I haven't watched anything. So
I wish Rez was here so we can reopen this conversation about guys being carried and all this other stuff.
So all right, so check me
and-
out real quick. I'm gonna say this, Cups. I'm not trying to argue. I am
I
not going
got
to
you.
respond. I'm not going to respond to whatever you say after I say what I say.
Hey,
So,
Russell, I'm
I'm
just
not going to
chilling, bro.
respond. I'm just going to say a few things real quick. That's it.
I got you, bro.
So look. We've had this argument, and I've been trying to get away from the argument because I don't want to argue anymore. You know what I'm saying? But y'all are obsessed with this Jalen Brunson, Trey Young thing, right? So Trey Young, you know what I'm saying, he ain't got no help. We all acknowledge that.
correct.
You know what I'm saying? He been shitting the bed though. You know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
But he don't got no help, so we going, you know, we going to acknowledge
Give
that.
him credit, yeah.
So Jalen Brunson came out the other night, had a shitty first half, came through in the clutch. You know what I'm saying? You shitted on him when he was being shitty, but you ain't come back after the fact and be like, Hey, yo, Jalen closed that out, right? So
all
yesterday
I said was it was a privilege.
One more thing. So yesterday, Jason Tatum goes 8 for 22. Derek White scores 30 points.
He went what?
8 for 22.
Did he miss 8 and hit 22?
No, he took 22 and hit 8.
He missed 8.
He missed 14. So
Yeah.
Derek White came through. Derek White came through and scored 30 points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever this happens,
leader of the team,
I don't never hear nothing, bro. I don't never hear you be like, "Damn, Tatum played bad tonight," or like, "Yo, Tatum."
He's what? He's what? He's leader of what?
Because
leader
again,
of what?
I hear you too, Kyle.
Can every superstar have a bad game? Can every superstar?
No. I just want to. I just have a question. One question. Is 36%? Is that good or bad or?
That's what he did in the finals last year too.
I'm just asking because I heard that if you shoot 43%, you suck. So if you shoot 36, I'm just wondering like, what does that put you at?
So to answer your question, Lethal, yes, everybody has bad games. The problem is that when some people have bad games, you know what I'm saying, it turns into this big whirlwind of focus. And then when others have bad games, we be like, he grabbed rebounds though.
I don't know.
I think the argument comes from. He's surrounded by.
So when Kobe went 6 for 24,
when Kobe shot like shit against the Celtics in Game 7.
Yeah, he grabbed 15 rebounds, which is awesome. You having a bad night?
I don't remember that. I remember Ron Artest being the leading scorer.
That's why you remember that, because Kobe went 6 for 24.
Yeah,
but
what everybody forgets is Ray Allen and everybody else was shooting like shit too.
But then people will turn around and be like, Kobe is the most clutch dude I've ever seen. What's more clutch than a Game 7?
Hey, first of all, you do it. Hey,
you know what I'm saying? And then
that was good.
Mumble used to be that nigga, bro, that closed the game out, bro.
Well, he did close it out.
What I'm saying though is that if you look at it, right, and I'm not trying to make the argument that you think I'm trying to make, right? All right, we established that.
What argument are you trying to make?
Let him make it first.
So we know that LeBron is 4-6 in the finals, right? You know what I'm saying? But when it comes to Game 7, he averages more points in Game 7 than anybody else that has ever played the game.
Well, he's been in more Game 7s.
That mean his number should go down then.
That means that he
don't
know how to deliver. He don't know how to deliver until he gets to the final straw. He's a procrastinator. He's not good until the last second. He don't get good grades until the day before the test.
I just want Cups. I just want Cups one time to be like, I wish Jason Tatum ain't go 8 for 22 today.
Did LeBron go 8 for 22 in one of those Game 7?
I'm sure he probably had a bad one.
He got outscored by Jason Terry.
Hey, I saw Draymond Green put up 32 points in a Game 7.
Yeah, Draymond did go crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Where was Steph at?
Hey, chill out.
We got my dog Buckeye Moody phoning in too.
Yo.
Julian saying in the house.
But yeah,
go ahead, bro.
So the whole thing about it is, right? The whole reason why anytime something happens with the Knicks, I bring up Jalen Brunson is because
look at you. Look,
niggas act like Jalen Brunson has been the same drive, or not even been the. You can think that Trae Young and Jalen Brunson are the same tier of players. That's fine, bro. That's fine. They could be the same tier of players. Niggas act like Jalen Brunson have had to carry the same weight that Trae Young has had to carry throughout his career.
I don't think anybody acts like that.
Nobody ever said that.
Cap, bro.
Nobody has said that. That's your interpretation,
cap, bro. But how would he be the better player? How would y'all think he's the better player if y'all feel like he doesn't necessarily shoulder the same?
Okay, how about this? Was
pressure?
Kobe Bryant a better player than Allen Iverson?
Yes.
For sure.
How? He had Shaq though. Allen Iverson had nothing. So that would make
Allen
Iverson
better, right? He still took teams to a finals. That's not what we consider
using your argument
why Kobe is better than Allen Iverson.
No, using your logic about what you just said about the help and all that, that would mean that Allen Iverson is better than Kobe.
Although they were peers, bro. Although they were peers,
but this is the problem that I'm trying to get at. This is the problem
that
I'm trying to get at.
Because Kobe has multiple MVPs, bro.
No, this is the problem that I'm trying to get at, right? Like, we all have a foundation that we speak from and that we think from. The problem is that you ain't applying that same foundation to everybody that we talk about. Like, you're trying to pick and choose when that matters.
Even when you put the splits together from when Jalen Brunson became a starter in the Knicks, time out. Get back to Jason Tatum. We ain't talking about and I was, because listen, I always said it's a privilege. It's a privilege to not perform to your standard, and your team around you is still elevated, bro. Zach,
is it your standard if you constantly don't perform it, though?
The number 2 option, Trae Young, scored 29 points, bro. Yes, he was 9 for 22, but nobody's talking about how his second option was 1 for 11, and they lost by 11 points.
Because everybody
is a privilege. And just the same thing with Shea, the same thing with SGA, bro. The same thing with SGA. What was SGA last night? Wasn't SGA like 9 for 20 last night?
Yes.
It's a privilege, bro. They still smoke them, boys. I'm talking about smoke them. They won by like 50.
But the difference is nobody expects the Atlanta Hawks to do
it. And that's what I'm saying, though. When the Knicks don't do well, nobody's hanging that shit on Jalen Brunson's shoulders, bro. Never. When the Hawks do bad, niggas is like, bro, what are we going to do with Trae Young? Why can't he elevate this team?
You know why? Because when the Knicks lost last year, he was injured. So why would I blame?
And they still bought a better caliber player in that bitch. They still bought a better caliber player who was higher in MVP conversations than Jalen Brunson was.
But why would I?
So who's playing
injured and then I go? He's the reason they lost the series.
When he played. He was absolutely healthy this year, bro. He was not in the MVP conversation like Cat was.
Who do y'all feel like is playing? Who do y'all feel like is playing better right now? In this whole playoff brackets that we got going on, who do y'all feel like between Trae and Brunson right now, who is playing better in the playoffs right now?
The nigga at the crib, bro.
I don't know. Brunson only had one.
Well, that's not a fair. It's not a fair conversation because Trae Young is always
the nigga is at the crib, bro.
Because Trae Young is the offense. He is the Atlanta Hawks. There is no team. Right. It is Trae Young and a bunch of niggas that we don't know.
And we acknowledge that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I'm just saying, like, I see where Cups is trying to come from, but at the same time, like, at the end of the day, your argument is not with us. Your argument is with Atlanta. Atlanta, they keep screwing him over and not giving him a team. So really, you're not mad at us. You're mad at Atlanta because at the end of the day, you can't Trae Young because there is no argument.
So you saying Atlanta is a bunch of fake astronauts?
I know, but you see how we did all that. You saw how we did all that whoop-de-doo and got off Jason Tatum real quick, though.
Bro, it's a privilege, bro, and we definitely have a squad, bro. Peyton Pritchard, I feel like he should be not only the sixth man, but the most improved player, bro. He is averaging the most points off the bench, the most, I think, steals off the bench. Bro is number one off the bench in several categories. It's like six man, and most improved, bro. The jump from this year to last year, who made a jump like that? Evan Mobley? Come on, gang.
I just had questions. Do your thing.
Come on, gang. I'm just saying, bro. It's a privilege. It is a privilege for Jason Tatum, and what is this, year 7, year 8 for Tatum? Maybe 5 years from now when he's still playing. Maybe when he gets to Steph's age, we have to see if he could do what Steph did 2021, 2022. You know what I'm saying?
You're using the right word, but it's the wrong sentence. It is a privilege to be on the Celtics, which is a great organization. That
have a good team around you, though, for sure.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It's like SGA, it's a privilege.
Because at the end of the day, Jason Tatum is not the guy that we want him to be. Jason Tatum has the skill set. Jason Tatum has the body. He has the ability to be this great person that you want him to be. And at the end of the day, he just ain't that.
Yeah, he went to Duke, but he acting like a Kansas Jayhawk right now.
Like,
whoa.
He's like Paul George. You know what I'm saying? Paul George got the skills, everything to be the superstar, but it just don't happen, bro. It just don't happen.
Hey, Moody,
Yo,
truth of the matter is, everybody want to be Kawhi Leonard and they can't. Everybody want to be able to just slack off and do nothing and then just come in and dominate when they feel like it. And niggas can't do that.
Hey, Moody, what's up with that Rockets Warrior series, man?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, I feel like the Rockets are supposed to win, but I wouldn't be surprised if Golden State wins it in 6.
Okay.
Golden State won the first game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know that playoff time get different.
Houston is like OKC. They're young. I mean, OKC just has the better matchup.
So who's more likely to win a game? The Heat or the Magic?
The Heat.
Florida.
The Heat.
You said Florida. Hey, no, that was a good one. I should have said that. Hell yeah, Florida. Florida gets the W.
The Heat can grind out. The Heat can grind out a win because Cleveland's not a killer team every night. If Donovan has an off night and Mobley and Allen don't dominate down low, they could easily lose a game. Especially if they get happy behind the 3-point line and go 8 for 22.
Mm-hmm. I see what you did there.
Hey, Moody, dog. Please tell me you feel me when I said before we get too far into what we was doing, bro. I gotta make sure I'm not tripping, bro. Please tell me you feel me about this Trey and Jalen shit.
Oh my God.
About Trae Young and who?
And Jalen, bro.
I mean, this is the way I feel about Trae Young. I don't put it on him. I feel like with Trae, it's time for him to explore possibilities outside of Atlanta, bro.
That's the only option he got.
Yeah,
I can't judge him. I can't judge him until he's outside of Atlanta, bro.
Facts.
It's like I mean, well, I guess if I had a grade on him right now, it just be incomplete.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't feel as long as he's in Atlanta, I mean, I don't see him getting past the first round. Like,
man, that man made the Eastern Conference Finals.
I mean, I'm saying on a continual basis.
Yeah, nah. I just don't want him to Dame himself out. I don't want him to be in Atlanta for 12 years and then like, oh well, I guess I'll leave now and nobody wants you.
That's what's about to happen.
All right, that's my next question. After talking to y'all the other night, I didn't know so many people had such negative feelings towards Dame Lillard.
Well, it's not negative feelings. It's just like, bro, you peaked so early and didn't do shit after that.
Couldn't you say the same for Trae Young?
Well, I was going to say, like, Dame Lillard didn't have a lot of help throughout the years either.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we can always say that Dame had a better team than Atlanta.
I mean, definitely.
Portland?
Portland, yes.
Yeah, I mean, having CJ McCollum
he had a CJ. He definitely had a Robin.
Yeah.
And then he also had LaMarcus Aldridge for a little bit. We can't forget that.
Okay, but I'm talking about the years after CJ and your boy got sent off.
4 years?
Yeah, he made a Western Conference Finals in the West.
Okay, so is this situation more similar to Kevin Garnett in Minnesota or Dame in Portland?
Kevin Garnett.
I would say Dame because Kevin Garnett had nice players on his team.
Nah, Kevin Garnett never did anything in Minnesota.
He went to the Western Conference Finals. He just played Kobe. They lost to Kobe and Shaq.
They did the 1 year, and then after that they fell off. They fell off for like 5 or 6 years.
Right, he had Sprewell and Sam Cassell.
Oh,
and had Marbury.
Marbury was eating Vaseline, I think.
You should have said Wally Zerbiak. I would have believed you better.
Yeah, Wally Zerbiak.
Yeah, I'm about to say Marbury was eating Vaseline, bro.
Wally Zerbiak probably better than the role players Trae Young got right now. Just saying.
Yeah, those astronauts better. Those astronauts are better than.
I don't know, bro. I just feel bad. I genuinely feel bad for Trae Young because his team is truly ass. Like it's not even like a. Yeah. We can make excuses for a lot of people's shitty teams, but he doesn't have a squad at all.
Right. Moody.
Yo.
So, what's the adjustment for Game 2, man?
Energy, man. Wake the fuck up.
Hey, Luka came out with 37.
But it was Luka and nobody else. I mean, everybody, we got to be on point.
Man, I don't understand why we were excited about Luka, man. We saw what they did last year. Like, why are we excited about Luka? We know what he do in the regular season.
Luka went to the finals.
Yeah, and we saw what he did. Nothing. Kobe told everybody when James Harden was going crazy, ISOing it out. You can't do that shit and win. It just don't happen.
Right.
And now you got LeBron on one leg. No matter how good he seems to be, like the nigga is he's father timing right now. Like no matter how good everybody want to, Bron, he's still pushing. Dog, he can't do it no more.
So that's my thing about like a lot of people were picking the Lakers to go to the Western Conference Finals or the finals. And that was kind of my thing. Like y'all relying on a 40-year-old dude, for one. You know what I mean? For two, y'all need somebody to step up every single night. You know what I mean? Like whether that's Austin Reeves, whether that's Rui, who can't do it most nights. Like I don't get the love outside of just looking at the names Luka and LeBron and being like, we got something.
Correct.
I mean, it has to be the other guys. You know what I'm saying? I think we have enough to beat Minnesota, and it just depends on the matchup. But I don't know.
So how would you feel? So how would you feel if y'all played? So how would you feel if y'all played the Warriors next round?
I like my chances. I like my chances to go to say. I mean, like the only team that worries me is because they know us so well in OKC. I mean, any given night we can beat any of those other teams because the teams where we have to lock in and play defense, we're gonna struggle.
Right. Yeah.
These
other teams, Minnesota size, man. That's size.
The other teams, most nights offensively we can outscore the other teams, but I don't expect Minnesota to shoot like that again.
For sure.
Golden State, we know how that goes. That's just whoever gets the fucking ball last at that point. But yeah, like I said, okay, until you have a team that you have to legit play defense against, that's when we go struggle.
So that's what I was gonna say. So y'all would put the dog walk on the Rockets?
Yeah, I think we could beat Houston. I mean, Houston, they just so young. I mean, it could go either way. I think we could beat Houston. I mean, I don't know who does Houston go to in crunch time.
They would play the winner of your series if they won.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I asked that question.
Yeah.
Their size is going to be a problem if they play Adams. I'm gonna butcher my man's name. And the other guy. If they play the three of them at the same time, like they briefly did against Golden State, it's gonna be a problem.
But they're not
for anybody.
What'd you say, Moody?
Adams ain't been a part of the rotation like all year. That ain't about to happen.
Well, no, they just at the end of the year they started doing that. They put him and Şengün together, and they've been leading the league in offensive rebounds. But the problem is that like Unk brought it up, Jabari Smith, they just don't leave him on the court enough. I mean, last night he didn't even miss a shot,
right.
And he didn't even play enough. He kills the Warriors every time they play each other. But so I don't know why coaches get to the playoffs and then they be like, I got something that's going to work, but I'm not going to do it until I have to adjust to it.
Right.
Because they should have won that game last night if Jabari plays more minutes.
See, I think just off, I think they're a good up and coming team. Just off experience alone, I think Golden State is gonna be able to knock them off.
Yeah, I got it going 7. I did pick Houston, but I picked it in 7.
I think their best shot was to, Steph's been banged up, was to be physical with him. Try to bang him around a little bit. But if that don't happen, I don't see it.
Well, I think Jimmy Butler might be the difference because now Steph has somebody that he can rely on that will take the big shots, and if nothing else, he's going to give effort.
And I think Jimmy's ability to get to the line is crazy.
Yes, especially at this age too.
Yeah,
and that's why, like, when I was looking at the game last night, that was my first takeaway is like, what the hell is Jalen Green doing?
Right.
Like, You probably, I think he 23 or something. Like, man, you better go to the hole and get to the free throw line.
Yeah.
I think they rely on him too much. I think they need the Thompson twins for both squads need to get a little more time and a little more focus.
Well, I remember when Cleveland was playing Golden State all those years, and they asked LeBron about it, like, and he said it simply, like, yo, whoever Steph is guarding, go to work.
Yeah.
But that part of the game is gone because everybody's jacking threes.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, we got the basketball. So, Moody, we got the draft coming up on Thursday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, where would you like to see the Commanders go?
I'm split. Okay. If I can't get Travion in the first round, I want to trade back.
Okay.
I just say that because I think that's a real position of need, and
I know we just saying that because he a Buckeye.
No, I know we've had 3-4 meetings with him, so I believe there's no genuine interest there. But I mean, if you can't get him, I think you got to trade back and get some more picks.
So for me, I think this running back class is deep, and I like Travion. But, I've been saying that anybody that's been watching the Hot Box or Sports Reports Disorder, they know the one thing that I've been saying is corner.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't know if there's necessarily a corner that'll be in range at our pick.
Right.
Because I like Ben Morrison out of Notre Dame, but he's coming off that injury.
I do.
Yeah, same with dude from ECU, Revel. I like him a lot. But I've been looking at James Pierce a little bit. Because I know he's going to take a fall because I thought he was going to be a top 12 pick or so, but it looks like he's going to fall. But I think I'm almost at the point where I'm just like, get me Malachi Starks if we don't get a running back.
Okay. I wouldn't be mad at that.
Yeah. Unc up here saying Shador is headed towards the Steel City. So this is the question, Unc, do y'all got to trade up to get him or he going to be there when y'all draft?
He won't. I don't think he'll be there. Because that's the 21st pick, and Cleveland picks ahead of us. Stupid shit happens. I think honestly, this organization is too smart to be playing this dumb. I think there's a plan already in play, and the trigger will be pulled on it on Thursday.
Okay,
just that simple. You don't go from the quarterback room you had last year without anticipating being in a situation like this and already having a plan to combat it prior to. You're not going to tell me an organization like this would have their future hinged on a 40-year-old who couldn't stay in New York or stay healthy. You can't tell me an organization like that had their future hinged on him. I think that's just a smoke screen for something else they got in play. I'm probably going to be hurt by the plan, but I'm going to have to look at the long term of the plan. Something's going to have to give in order for them to get Shador, and I'm hoping it's not T.J. Watt, but if it is, I wouldn't be surprised.
You're not scared of the. Oh, go ahead, Moody.
I've been hearing a lot of T.J. Watt to Washington. I don't know how true it is, but I've been hearing a lot of it.
I was gonna.
I mean, because like I said, just based on the position that you're at 21. What do you have to offer other than a marquee player and future picks, and that 21st pick, in a weak draft, not as weak as previous years, but it's not like there's 25 players, 25 studs in the first round. Really, it's the first 5 or 10 players, and then you rolling the dice with everybody else. So you got to make a move that either involves a marquee player picks or both, unless you making a deal with the Cleveland Browns, which, you know, you can throw them a 12-pack of Natural Light and 2 9-laters, and they'll trade you anything. That's just how gullible they are. But they're not. Nobody's in that position this year of where there's an easy trade. And even if you don't trade for him, you're either going to have a really fucked up quarterback room, or you're going to do something with Atlanta to try and get Kirk Cousins. That'll be my next what the fuck was you thinking pick.
So,
and either way, we don't have the line to protect either one of the quarterbacks people say are projected to come to the Steelers or would be a good fit for the Steelers, because our line is still a work in progress.
You're not scared of the Saints at 9?
I am scared of the Saints at 9, but that you could say the Steelers and the Saints have a trade deal in place.
Well, if they want, I don't know, because with this Derek Carr news, they're going to.
I mean, even if you say they send Derek Carr, along with.
Well, they're saying that he might not even play this season. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're factoring that in as well. I've also heard them, say, well, if they don't get that former Jets quarterback, they could be looking to get Kirk Cousins, who is still recovering from that Achilles. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, like I say, you get either one of the two, even if you throw Kirk Carr in the mix, either one of the three, we do not have an offensive line that can protect them consistently as pocket passers, because they're not scramblers. And that's what we need. We need a mobile quarterback, a mobile, accurate quarterback. So if you don't do it this year, you're basically saying you're going to waste a year of Metcalf and another year of Mr. Malcontent, and hope you get Arch next year. Unless you do a blockbuster trade this year and get somebody in there competent that can sustain you, or it's going to be the future. Because, like I said, you don't go from the quarterback room you had last year that everybody said was suspect to the quarterback room you got this year that everybody says is abysmal.
Yeah, it's even worse.
But I mean,
it's even worse.
It's kind of been suspect. I mean, since Ben left. I mean, and I know the whole thing about New Orleans, but I mean, for y'all to try to move up in front of New Orleans to get Shador, I mean, I don't see what kind of incentive they would have to do that.
Like I say, it's got to involve a marquee player and picks, multiple picks, in order to jump up to 9. And you gotta be in the mindset of, say, like when New Orleans went after Ricky Williams, you putting it all on him. That's your future. You're gonna ride or die and roll the dice. I don't think the organization is in that mind frame based on one position player, but with it being quarterback and the money you have already invested in one receiver and the money you're probably going to invest in the other receiver trying to keep them there, you got to give them some type of incentive to stay there.
Right, correct.
At least the one you haven't re-signed. You got to give them some incentive to stay. And if I'm either one of them looking at the quarterback that's going to be throwing to me right now, I'm like, why am I here? So I believe they got something in play. They just holding it to their chest. And Thursday you're going to find out. And like I said last month, Shador will be a Steeler. At what cost, I can't tell you. Okay. And if it's not Shador, then next year it'll be Arch.
All right, so one last quarterback question, Moody. What am I to expect of Will Howard in the NFL?
Career backup. Might get an opportunity one day. We'll see.
Okay, because everybody's doing it. Because everybody's doing the thing. They're like, oh, is he like Josh Allen and we just don't know it yet?
I think for Will, he shouldn't be concerned about, so far as where he's going to end up right now. He just needs to. Hopefully, the later he goes, the better of a situation he can be in and learn, because he still has a lot to learn.
Right. Okay.
I do think he could be one of the better options down the road. After he gets somewhere sit for a couple of years, but I mean, by no means just because he won the championship, he'd be up to first round, second round talent. No.
Is he like in a JJ McCarthy situation?
I think JJ came out good.
Are they similar, or is McCarthy better?
I think Will has a better arm talent than JJ does, but I don't know. JJ was just a scrappy little kid.
Yeah, JJ is more you know how they talk about like basketball IQ, like JJ's more like that. Like he's cerebral.
So it wasn't the talent around him that made him look good. It was
no. And I think that
from the neck up.
I think Will Howard is one of those Ginobili type dudes where you're going to be like, no. How do you do that? And then the next time it's going to be awful because he got away with it the first time.
Yeah.
So is he Michigan State Kirk Cousins like?
No, because I actually wanted Kirk Cousins out of college, so I wouldn't say that. I did. I wanted Kirk Cousins instead of RG3.
Dude. Okay.
I don't know who to compare Will Howard to, like off the top. Like, I mean, he's one of those dudes that has the physical frame and the prototype that they like to see.
Will he's Kyle McCord with mobility. That's it.
But I don't even know if he's better than Kyle McCord though. Like that's the thing. Like I know. Without pissing off Buckeye Nation. You know what I mean? I know that y'all made Kyle McCord the scapegoat and everything, but you know what I mean? Y'all didn't win the national title because Will Howard showed up.
Right.
Besides the fact that y'all lost two games along the way.
I mean, the only thing I'll say.
Who did they lose to?
They lost to Oregon and Michigan.
Who?
Only thing I'll say. Probably. All right. Only thing I'll say about Will compared to Kyle is just during crunch time, I trusted Will more than Kyle. Just because, I think crunch time was easier for Will Howard just because he's played so much more football.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely say that that year in Columbus with Kyle, just I think the bright lights got to him.
Okay. So, is there any sleepers that you don't hear a lot of people talking about that we should watch out for?
What draft wise?
Yeah, draft wise, just like any position, like whatever.
What's that? I gotta look it up. Yeah, they're tight end.
Fannin,
the one from Oregon. Yeah.
Oh, okay, you talking about the one from Oregon?
Yeah.
Okay, I know who you're talking about. What is his name?
Speaking of Oregon,
Ferguson, right?
That quarterback they got coming out of Oregon.
Dylan Gabriel.
I ain't heard nothing about him.
Yeah. What's that? A third round or a second round?
That might be a fourth round.
I ain't heard nothing.
Yeah.
What's the knock on him?
His age and lack of arm.
Yeah, he really doesn't have a cannon. He really doesn't have a live arm, honestly, for real. From what I think.
Like if he could carve out a Ryan Tannehill type career, like I think he should be happy with that.
So is he like Chad 10-yard Pennington or worse?
He might be a little better than that because he's got some legs on him too. He likes to run a little bit when the play breaks down. So he'll make plays if he gets on the field. I just don't see him as a solution. But you talking about Terrence Ferguson, Moody? You know, I was going to say Omarion Hampton, but a lot because everybody's talking about Ashton Genty, but the last few days, Omarion Hampton's name has started to pick up a little steam. I like.
I got an edge rusher that's flying under the radar. Too.
Let's hear it.
Jordan Birch from Oregon.
Come on, Moody, time out now. You know what I'm saying? You just giving me a whole bunch of people that beat Ohio State, and you like, yeah, they beat us. They gonna be stars in the NFL.
No, I'm just saying, like, I can't believe the grades on some of these guys. It's crazy.
I do. So one sleeper that I know I haven't heard anybody in here talk about, like, I saw a tweet about it the other day too, and it made me mad because he beat me to the punch. But I like Andrew Armstrong out of Arkansas, wide receiver. You know, I think he's a really good player to go with Jaden Higgins from Iowa State at receiver. I like Damian Martinez out of Miami, running back. You know,
y'all might not like this one, bro, but I think Restrepo gonna find a role in the league, bro.
Yeah, like I don't see nothing wrong with that. I mean, he's a old reliable kind of guy.
Restrepo
from Miami.
What's up with this quarterback from Louisville? He getting a lot of traction.
Oh, he's got an arm on him, man. He's got an arm. Tyler Shuck. Yeah, he does. Like the only problem with him is this was the first season that he actually played. You know, like he played like 4 games 1 year, 7 1 year. So this was the first year that he actually. But I think that people should take a little caution because he went to Texas Tech and then he went to Louisville with Brom, you know what I mean, which is like system. So I'm not as high on him as I've heard other people.
Oh man, Tyler Slaw. I don't know what to make of this guy. I think he's gonna like, bro. After I seen that one pass that he did with no pads, no defenders, you know what I'm saying? It was. I was cool. I was cool on, bro. You know what I'm saying? But before we get out this jump, we're approaching that mark. Go ahead.
Yeah. Oh no, I was just gonna say, like, that's what kills me. It's like I watched this dude basketball shorts, like, sign up.
Yeah,
like, I don't see no pressure in his face. I don't see no uniform on him. You muted or something. We can't hear you.
How about now?
There you go.
Damn.
What was you saying?
I was just saying the shit that you put on with no pads. I don't want to see that ever again. We got to watch the live film. You know what I'm saying? With people trying to attack you. But before we get out this jump, I have to ask, Buckeye Moody. I'd heard that you were saying something about trading down to get some picks. Is wide receiver necessarily a priority? I don't know if you answered that. I was backstage.
I was traveling. So if I can get one between the 3rd and 4th round, I'm cool with that.
Because now that y'all got Deebo Samuels and Wes Welker, you know what I'm saying, who helped Deebo Samuels have one of his career seasons in San Francisco, are you saying that, you know what I'm saying, your offensive firepower might be on the back burner now?
No, still needs another piece.
We lost Diami.
Yeah, I peeped that.
And I'm not sure what I'm getting from the white kid yet. So
if Will Johnson is there at 21,
like he don't have a very famous big brother.
He said Will Johnson.
If Will Johnson is there at 21, how do you feel? Or 28, I meant.
I mean,
he ain't going that low.
Yeah, he's not going that low. I don't really want all these Michigan guys on my team, to be honest.
I feel you though. You should just trade back. You should trade back to 38.
I already got a chair for Stanford, which I don't really like doing. But
bro, Samper's still gonna be that guy for y'all.
Oh yeah, he is. Most definitely.
100%. No, if Will Johnson gets past Miami, I believe Miami's at 13. If he gets past them, I'd be real shocked.
What if y'all get Sam Steele and Johnson? That would be tough.
Hey, if we were to get it, sign me. I mean, I know what Moody just said, but I don't
Wolverines
fuck
all
with this shit
day.
either.
Hell
I don't fuck
yeah.
with this shit either, but sign me up.
You know what I'm saying? That's tough. But yeah, so
unfortunately, it just shows sometimes what coming back to school can do to your draft stock. Because I mean, prior to last year, Denzel Burke was first round pick material.
Right.
Now he's hopping around second, third round pick.
he played this year, didn't he?
Yeah, but his tape was not good this year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying though. Because Denzel Burke,
yeah, he was the one that got burnt up against Oregon.
Yeah, bro. He was talked about like with the first round grade. So yeah, bro, it's definitely.
He absolutely was. Like he, you know, like Moody said, like sometimes we tell people like, hey, you need to stay in school another year, get some more tape. That didn't apply to him.
That shit.
So is he Artie Burns, or is he better?
I think he's better than Artie Burns. You know, he's not Denzel.
Is he better than
Ward.
Damon Arnett? Is he better than Damon Arnett?
You're just saying names now.
I'm just saying, bro. He was a first round pick.
I know. Yes, he's better than him. Yes, he's better than him. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, he's not Denzel Ward, but I mean, there ain't a lot of Denzel Wards out there.
Dog, Damon Arnett. That was a crazy pick.
You know, and then real quick, just a quick check-in. You know, we got Pistons 48, Knicks 35. You know, with about 4.5 left in the second quarter. But you know, to Cups's surprise, Jalen Brunson has 13 points on 5 of 9 shooting, 3 of 5 from 3.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens.
Congratulations. You know what I'm saying? That's what's up, bro. Man, hopefully you keep it up, brother. Hopefully you feed the team.
He's 3 shots shy of going 8 for 22. Outstanding.
Hey, did any of y'all catch that Nuggets Clippers game the other day?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was a great game, and I think we're in store for another one tonight.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be the best series.
It might be. Like I got the Clippers winning in 6.
It's going 7.
It might.
It's going 7, and the Nuggets. It'll take that 7 game in Denver. Or was that in LA?
You know, the 7 game will be in. Yeah.
No, 7 game. It'll take that 7
Minnesota
game for them to
won
pull it
last
out.
year in Game 7. But what I want y'all to keep an eye on tonight, though, is James Harden played 43 minutes in that game 1, and Kawhi played 42.
Do you think they keep it up?
Okay, but he hasn't played half the season, so he's got fresh legs more or less.
That works both ways.
A leg and a half.
But you're not used to that burden on your body too.
But that's what practice was for. The practice was for you to get your stamina up.
I mean, I'm picking the Clippers to win. I'm just saying, that's what I got my eyes out on. I got my eyes on that.
Okay, you want to put another dollar on that?
Nope. Like I've learned a long time ago, you don't ever bet on the Clippers. You don't ever bet against the Clippers. You just let them exist.
Hell yeah!
Wow.
Don't even put them on the lay. Don't even put them.
Don't even put them on it. Yeah. Don't even acknowledge them.
Not even on point. Not even on point.
Nah.
Nope. Ain't no money line, no nothing. Fuck them.
Hey, the Clippers are as likely to win a playoff game 78-75, you know what I'm saying, as they are 121 to 120.
It could definitely go both ways.
Yeah, yeah. You know, but yeah, those are the games for tonight, you know. So you know, hopefully the Pistons can tie this up. You know, I did pick Knicks in 6, but you know, I would like to see a good series. Tomorrow we got the triple header. You know, we got the Pacers and Bucks. You know, Dame is questionable. We got Thunder Grizzlies part 2, and then we got Ant going back to the crypto.
Shout out to motherfucking Ant-Man, dog.
Stand by for the league to find him for that sideways gun gesture.
Is Ant going to be the best player in the league at some point?
No.
He has potential.
No.
He has potential.
Minnesota's going to mess it up because they're not going to get past the second round of the playoffs and then they're going to tweak the lineup again, put another big man in there thinking it's going to help, and it's not. And they don't have the draft picks or capital to draw in a marquee player to get a big three that can really do anything in the West, because the West is just that tight.
Mm-hmm.
3 to 7 or 3 to 8 were basically decided by 2 games.
Yeah.
Oh, no, there's very little margin for error here in the West. And there's teams that was in the West that would have been in the Eastern Conference playoffs, like Phoenix. But I don't see him as the face.
All right,
He'll be top 10, but he won't be the face.
Okay. All right, so last one from me. You know, my fantasy trade, I got to ask it since we got some new company amongst us. You know what I mean? If Atlanta calls Memphis and says, I'm going to give you Rayford, you give me Demetrius, who says no?
Memphis.
Fresh start for everybody.
Memphis says no?
Yeah,
I mean, shit, with Jaren Jackson and Zach Edey, that's basically like Capella and John Collins all over again. What's up, bro? Run it back. Fuck it.
I guess my question is there no trade clause in anybody's contract?
The only person right now that has a no trade is Bradley Beal.
That's funny.
I love it.
He's the only person that has a no trade. But word on the street is if they can't work out something, Phoenix might just straight up cut him.
Shout out Bradley Beal.
Shout out to Bradley Beal, dog. Hood wink of the motherfucking century.
Smartest man in the game. Guaranteed money.
You know, like all the rumors.
What is the benefit outside of a different location and one going from barbecue ribs to lemon pepper wing? Outside of that, what is the benefit?
I don't know. I mean, I just think that, you know, you grasping straws because I don't know what kind of market. I think Trey would have a bigger market than Ja Morant would, just off of like all the side stuff going on with Ja. So I just wonder because I don't think Memphis is going to bring him back, but I don't know how many teams are actually interested in him.
You don't think they're gonna bring Ja back?
I don't think so. Like after they fired the coach, and you know, like you've been going through this tailspin for the last 3 or 4 years, right? Remember, they were the 2 seed, and then they lost to the Lakers. You know, then he got suspended, and then he came back, got hurt, and then I don't know if he's hit 10 games yet, but last time I looked, he hadn't played 10 straight games since 2022.
Oh wow.
Okay, but do you think Jaren Jackson can be the face of that team?
No,
I hate Jaren Jackson.
No, I mean, you saw it yesterday, you know, 1 for 10 or something like that. And I mean, well, to be fair, Jaren Jackson, Scottie Pippen Jr., and Desmond Bane combined for 12 of 51, and Ja hit 6 of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just think that when you have these little dudes like Ja are being phased out to some degree. Like, Trey at least has the shot. You know, the reliable 3-point shot that makes him exceptional. But, you know, like Ja is going to end up being a Derrick Rose type dude that he's going to get that knee injury and then just like the way that he plays. Yeah. So I don't know what his market is.
But here's a question. Give me a 3-team scenario that sends him out west.
Trey, let's see. Okay. Well, I can't do that because he's injured right now. I was going to say you could probably try to trade Kyrie, but he's hurt and probably won't be back to January, so maybe not.
I thought. Well, I'm not sure. I thought the general manager said you got to give them a year of being healthy before you fire him and say that was the worst trade ever. So he's banking on next year being a championship team.
I mean, he's right to some degree. He's right to some degree. I mean, they're scapegoating him. He didn't just walk up to the owner and say, "Yo, I'm trading Luka. I don't care what you say." You know what I mean? The problem isn't that the problem isn't that he traded Luka. The problem isn't that he traded Luka. The problem is why you ain't getting nothing back.
Well, I told you that wasn't his call. But that wasn't his call.
You got to give me Anthony Davis and Austin Reeves or something.
No, that wasn't his call. That was the owner getting back at the city and the state for not approving that casino that they want.
That's what I'm saying. And you know, when they in Vegas, I don't want to hear nothing about it.
Yeah, or he should have opened it up, you know, to everybody else. But
well, they said that allegedly, this is all alleged. They said that he called Minnesota. They said he called Milwaukee, and they both said no.
Nah, Playboy, you can see that. You can see that was a 2-team deal. That was a specific move. They knew what they were doing and who they were doing it with. They got a young, often injured player for an older, often injured player that plays sometimes defense, just like the younger one does. It's just Dallas got a center that likes to jack up threes, and the Lakers got a small forward that likes to jack up threes and complain.
So how about Trae Young for Jamal Murray and Michael Porter?
Throw a pick in there.
Who says no?
I do that.
Who say no?
Throw a pick in there.
No.
Oh yeah. Atlanta would probably have to throw a pick in there.
But that's still a 2-team deal. Where's the third team?
Okay.
Putting Utah in there?
No. So how about so Trae and Jamal Murray. Well, see, that's the problem with 3-team trades. You probably got to have a lot of people involved. So,
but if you do Murray and Porter, isn't that compromising the Nuggets bench? Because now you got to get somebody
anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I do that.
So okay.
That's 2 starters. That's 2 starters for Trae though.
All right, no, I got you. How about Trae, Larry Nance, and Kobe Buffkin? Then you got Jamal Murray, Porter, Peyton Watson, and then you go Beal.
Nobody wants that.
I don't even know.
Yeah, man. Look, fellas,
you playing the NBA?
Nobody wants it.
I know. That's what I'm about to pull up right now.
Nobody wants that contract.
And then we can't just say throw a pick in there. I mean, unless you're gonna have a top, 5 or 10 protected pick. I mean, those teams ain't gonna never be pick at the top of the draft.
You can throw a conditional pick in there. That's the new norm now. You throw in the conditional pick. That way you stand a chance of keeping it, but you most likely will lose it depending on the record.
I think I got a team. Hold on. We're gonna make this happen. We're gonna make this happen.
Before we get out of here, how y'all feeling for Thursday?
You know what I'm saying? Just let me know what's up.
Yeah, already.
Is that before or after the draft? Because depending on what the 21st pick does, I might.
I'm streaming the draft anyway. I'm streaming it anyway.
Be going with the Lord. My pressure might send me up with the Lord, depending on what that 21st pick do. If we got it.
I used to be excited, but now that we at the end of the first round, I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah,
I don't even think we gonna pick that night. I think we gonna trade back.
I hate that I gotta cut this joint short, man, but I gotta get out of here, man. I gotta move to make fellas. Goddamn, we done reached that goddamn 1 hour and 10-minute mark in this here goddamn Monday smoke meeting. I have been Styrofoam Ralph. You already know I had the game with me, my dog. See more hate, 1/2 of Sports Reports as ordered 2-5. Mike Will representing live in the building. And you know I have my dog Steel Curtain in this motherfucker representing. You know I have my dog Buckeye Moody. Hey, how many? What's y'all record gonna be next year, Buckeye Moody?
I don't know. I know we're gonna beat y'all though. Tired of this shit. I can't take it no more, bro.
At first we had Coach Khaki, now we got Coach Polo Vest. You know what I'm saying? So
y'all think because y'all got a quarterback now, I'm supposed to be intimidated?
we had Coach Khaki, now we got Coach Slacks. You know what I'm saying? So Coach Slack definitely gonna take it to y'all niggas. And like I said, bro, Bryce Underwood, bands will make them dance. Hey Alexa, play bands will make them dance. Look, that's all I gotta say, bro.
I'm gonna find. We're gonna find some violations on him. I'm gonna take care of it. Don't worry.
Violation, nigga. The violation gonna be on the football on the gridiron, nigga. That's gonna be the violation, nigga.
That's all right. We'll see.
What you talking about? So yeah, fellas, this has been the motherfucking Monday Smoke Meeting. I've been Styrofoam Ralph. You can catch the Hot Box every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Catch us again for the Thursday Smoke Rally. I will be streaming rounds 1 and possibly 2, depending on how round 1 went for my squad. We love y'all so much, man. We letting the windows down. We letting the smoke out. But above all else, fuck Aaron Rodgers.
Fuck him.
And fuck Kevin Durant.
Fuck him.
Know what I'm saying?
Is it too early? Is it too early for fuck Columbus?
Fuck.
Just say it. Fuck Columbus.
And fuck Kemba Walker.